Happy Thursday to you, or for those of you watching Friday, happy Friday to you. If you're live, it is Thursday. My name is Adam. I am the executive director here at the Factory Ministries. You've likely found us on Facebook, YouTube, or maybe on a friend's shared link. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Our goal each week, try to do it each week, is just to tune in, share what's happening, celebrate some wins, and look forward to what's coming and encourage our hearts. And of course, everyone tunes in for a good laugh with a dad joke or two. All right, with that said, let's jump in. I think I'd start with is March Madness. It is, matter of fact, you may not even be watching me live right now because you were watching March Madness, but hey, or you're watching me and you can jump over to the game in a little bit. I believe the game starts this afternoon. We do a bracket here at the Factory. I know nothing about college basketball, honestly. I know enough just from, obviously, I catch news, see ESPN once in a while, hear the talk, listen to my sons. I filled a bracket out. I am, when you fill an ESPN, you put the names in. I am Adam 1, ATOM number 1, Adam 1. Like, I'm going to win. Anyway, I'm really not. But it's fun. It's a fun name. We got some creative names in our Factory thing. There were some really fun ones in there. I picked Alabama to do the whole thing. I do have Penn State as my upset team. I just, for my own heart, I'm a Penn State fan. Know nothing about Penn State basketball, but I thought, hey, they're in this year. Let's see if they can't post an upset. So anyway, enough about March Madness. That starts today. Do you guys have your brackets filled out? Any of you doing, playing, engaging, having fun with that? Love to hear who is your winner on your team. Okay, well, that's it. Let me share. Why don't we start with a dad joke or two or three? How about two? First one. A friend of mine the other day was telling me about his wife broke his lamp. He was just devastated. He literally said to me, this is what he said. He said, I'll never be able to look at her in the same light again. I think he'll get over it. They'll get a new lamp. It'll be a new light. It'll be a better light. And she will be looked at in a far better light. Anyway, another friend, different friend, maybe this friend should have got this. Another friend said to me, I received a flyer for anger management. Someone thought I needed it. He said, okay. I received a flyer for anger management the other day. And he said, I lost it. I said, well, see, that's why you need the class. He goes, no, I lost the flyer. Anyway, here we go. Final one. And this one has a bit of I'm just going to say right up front, this one has a bit of a junior high humor edge to it. So I apologize ahead of time. But anyway, someone said to me the other day, spring is here. Which technically it's not. I had to remind them that spring doesn't officially start until I think March 20th or 21st. So it's close. But he said to me, spring is here. After we got through the technicalities, spring is here. I got so excited, I wet my plants. Not wet my pants, but wet my plants. Anyway, so flowers are growing. We have daffodils coming up and tulips around our house. So they were early this year, very, very early. Okay, with that said, here we go. Let's jump in. Let's talk about some things. You might have seen this. Big shots happened. Man, I cannot say thank you enough. Over $20,000 raised. There's the team when you walked in. Loved. We had a participant actually knit those things across. There's Laura Shira and her son. Welcome people as they came on in. Here I am wearing, isn't that a cool little headband with I wasn't sure if it was supposed to go on that way or flip around the other way, but I wore it that way. Here we have, again, if you go online, there's a short little video you can catch and kind of catch a highlight of the whole entire day. You also see a number of pictures. There's the PV team shooting. You'll see Eric here in the closest, and you'll see John Travato and Rich. Here they are afterwards. Now, you may say, who of those three, who do you think made the most buckets? Now, with that said, Rich, there, you'll see him. He's in the red. He plays ice hockey. Eric played football. John played basketball. So who do you think was the winner? If you guessed John, that's what my money was on. You were wrong. It was actually Rich. Rich was the winner of that. He's hit the most. Here's another fun one. This is my son. My son was one of the shooters. He was at 82 shots. I was up near the top. I think he was in the top, I think 5 shooters, 6, somewhere in that ballpark. So congratulations to him. That's my wife there, MVP there. She's on a little sign. And anyway, but here's a big thank you. This is Caleb and his wife. You'll see off to the right there. And then a friend of Caleb's and a friend of the factory's, Justin Watkins. He's in the far left in the black shirt. He was also a shooter. He was he might have been, or he was up there, one of our top fundraisers for the event. So big thank you. Big thank you to Caleb and the whole Barron Insurance team and all that they did. I cannot say thank you enough. It is a fun event, over $20,000. This was, Caleb actually sent through pictures, an email later in the week. That were really fun. He showed, this was the 6th one. So he showed pictures of the very first one. And I loved it. I love looking at stuff like this because it birthed a vision out of his heart. And literally they had like whiteboards where they were writing stuff on. When you look at the pictures now, you know, we've got screens and it's come so far, but I love it, love it, love it. One of the things we believe in the factory is a bias towards action. You got a thought, let's get out and do it. Let's figure it out. We'll build the plane as we go. And again, a perfect, maybe you've heard a statement stated before, a perfect, oh, I just blew it. I was right there in my mind and it is gone. A good plan today trumps a perfect plan tomorrow. There it was. So again, don't want to encourage risk that it's unnecessary or shoddy work, but man, Caleb, can I say thank you? He had a good plan. He stepped out, he did it, and it's been growing and perfecting each and every year. So we love that. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you, community. Thank you, shooters. Big thank you for that $20,000 and the huge impact that it makes. Love some of the stories that you'll hear here at the factory. Let me share one with you. I have this one. This is the kind of stuff you hear at the factory regularly. Man, just hanging out around here, you get to hear stories like this. An elderly participant was recently received an eviction notice, and that's something we'll get asked regularly. What is the top need that people that show up? What is the number one? And at the top is probably housing, something to do with housing, rent, evictions, other things like that. So this elderly person ended up going to court to attend the eviction hearing, and she arrived early and was able to share her story with the property manager. So they got to sit there and talk and share and converse, who also arrived early. As he told her, he ultimately, as he listened to the stories, you know what, you don't need to move out, and began to work with her and the landlord to just find a way to say, we can make this work and make it stay. So she knows that she still may need to leave in the future because, again, there's a lot of hurdles, a lot of things to overcome. But man, working hard, setting goals, working with her advocate, and she was deeply encouraged by the kindness of that individual and the help and support that she gets here at the factory to help journey that, as well as we walk with the landlord as well and walk with them for helping them provide resources that they do. Because again, we're real clear. Enablement is not the way to go either. So at times evictions and stuff, we work really hard to avoid that. But at times, those realities and again, it's what's best for the landlord too, to say, hey, I need to do this. So we journey with landlords to help them with resourcing and help them to kind of navigate that as well. So anyway, great story. Love stories like that, but Big Shots make stories like that and so many others happen and take place. So big thank you to Caleb. Big thank you to all the shooters and the entire team. Now, that was one big event. We have another event coming. I want to mention to you. It is happening on March 31st. There's still time to get in on this. It's $25. $25 gets you a book by these two guys right here, Rob Skasel and David Ashcraft. The book is titled What Was I Thinking? Again, what they're really looking at is decision making. How do I kind of work through that? So that $25 gets you the book, gets you breakfast, and gets you 2 hours with the authors through some training and teaching, etc. So right now, again, we've got a great crowd signed up, but you still can be. We'll get it here in the comments for you, the link where you can click on that and sign up if you'd love to be part of it. So leadership at any capacity, whether you're in maybe the school leading, whether you're in your home leading, whether you're at a church leading, a business leading, or you're maybe just a student of leadership trying to figure that out and step into it. I would love to have you. Love to have you here. Next thing I want to mention is we're coming up on the 3-year anniversary. The 3-year anniversary. Isn't that crazy? It was 3 years ago that the world, as we know it, came to a pause and shut down, if you will. And during that process, we started a food drive system that we learned a lot from. We did it every week then we shifted it to go every month. Well, we're on the 3-year anniversary. So working with the Paradise Lions, we are going to do a big kind of way to go, celebrate the community for Fill the Truck. That's happening on March 24th. That's our fourth Friday, whatever we call it. I always get the name mixed up. So anyway, 4th Friday food drive. There it is. Get that mixed up. So there's the list. We're specifically looking for Ritz or saltines, paper towels, hamburger helpers, syrup, and pancake mix. So what I would love to say is encourage you to share that post, rally maybe your office, your family, your neighborhood, your whatever. Just rally around, bring food yourself, share the post, like the post, get the word out there. Would love to fill the truck there on that day. Okay, let me look what else I got here. We got some other things. I'm going to make sure I don't miss them. Youth Center open door is tonight. That's every Thursday night, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Bingo is next Thursday, 2 to 4, right here. Would encourage you to come on out and check that out. The front porch happens again on Thursday, March 23rd from 12 to 2. Speaking of the front porch, I thought I had an image for this next one, but I do not. Okay, I did, but I apparently deleted it. So I am sorry. It's not in my queue ready to go. So anyway, Grace Point Church is also going to be here hosting a church service right here in our building, happening on March 26th at 10:15. The following Sunday after that, I think it's the first Sunday in April, I'm actually going to be at Grace Point preaching there. So anyway, so that's that's working. So I encourage you, if you don't have a church home, check that one out. Okay, next one. I thought I had an image for this one too, but I don't. I am not good at my images today. I'm sorry. But the Paint and Plant Party is happening Friday, March 31st. It's the same day as the Community Leadership Summit, but in the evening, 6 o'clock to 7:30. Final thing I have to mention is domestic violence is a unfortunate reality. The Factory Ministries is working with Tanya Mack, and this is a support group, March 20th through May 22nd, Mondays right here, 5:30 to 7. So again, if you've been impacted by domestic violence, victim, survivor, or you're supporting someone who has been or is, you are welcome. Love to have you here. Monday nights, 5:30 to 7. Now, the thing I would say to you is don't need to register, but we would love to just make sure we're adequately prepared. Or if you have questions, the other way, give a call or talk to your advocate when you're here. Okay, with that said, a lot of things I can talk about. Jump on social media. When you're finished with this video, scroll through Facebook. There's a lot happening. A lot has happened. Just again, there's encouraging content out there, things to check out. Before we end, I want to end with I like to do this each time before we end, some encouragement. And here's what I want to, something I've been thinking about lately. I've wrestled with this, I'll be honest. The church has been hard for me. Some of you know I was a pastor. And as I look at the church as a whole in history, there's times that I'm just not real proud of the church. Again, I want to rake through it all right now, but in the history of the church, you think of, you say, Adam, what kind of things? Well, you may be thinking of the Crusades, for example. And again, we could just keep expanding some of the stuff that the church has stood behind and advocated and has done. It's not been pretty in our history. Even some maybe churches that you've been involved with. I engage people on a regular basis who carry deep wounds from churches. So it's something I've wrestled with and struggled with and have asked. People have asked, have you given up on the church? I'd say no, I haven't. In the same way, I've not given up on families. There's a lot of broken families and a lot of hurt from families. And some of you have deep wounds from families, but we still have this in peace inside of us that draws us back to a family. The other way I've heard it explained is I can't play music at all. And I've tried. I remember I was in college, I had roommates play guitar. I thought, you know what? I'll learn how to do that. I tried. No. I did the drums for a number of years, tried the piano, just I don't know. It doesn't work with me. So imagine if I were to take one of Beethoven's sonatas and I were to just practice and practice and practice and practice for a month straight. And you were to come hear a recital of that. I promise you, it is going to be awful, just flat out awful. But that doesn't negate the beauty of Beethoven. Just because of the one person's performance was poor doesn't wipe Beethoven out of existence or the beauty of what he has created. So anyways, there's a lot of things. So I haven't given up in the church, I'll be honest, but I have wrestled a lot. I have hurt, and some of you may be in that journey as well. So I've looked for resources and journey. Well, one I came across recently, and I'd share this. I'm not always a big peddler of books. This is one, especially if you're a history fan or a reader, I would say it's worth the read. It's called Bullies and Saints by a guy by the name of John Dickson. Here's one of the things he talks about, and this really resonates what I'll encourage you with. The first 300 years of church history, there was no political power. There was no government backing. There was extreme persecution. There was no Christendom as we understand it today, like in the West, like Christian nations. It wasn't. It was a group of people for the first 300 years who engaged and encountered the resurrected Jesus Christ and started this movement. And for 300 years, they just did life and did it in the footsteps of the person that they called their Savior and Lord, Jesus. Now, as John Dickson writes and looks at the history and looks at the impact of those 300 years and the other bright spots throughout church history, one of the things he'll point out, and this want to encourage you with, he said there are two markers that set the church apart during that day and age. First one, they took Jesus literally when he said, "Love your enemy." Man, I thought about that. I thought, that's something that's needed today. Love your enemy. Forgiveness, leaning in, the healing power of that, letting go of bitterness, not making someone pay with this vengeance that I have in my heart, or the other things are just learning to love my enemy. A beautiful thing, living at peace with all people so far as it's up to me. So love your enemy. So I encourage you to do that. That's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to lean into. It's a hard thing to walk. But that's, again, John talked about the early church. They took that literally. And then the second thing he said that is true is the image of God. And they really took that teaching literally. The image of God would state that every human being is created in the image of God. Everyone. No matter who you engage, their age, their gender, whoever they are, they're created in the image of God. And that brings dignity and worth. Every human that you encounter, think about this, is in God's likeness. Now, when you take that to heart, you really take that to heart, you start to understand, wow, the people that I engage, the people that I walk with, I might be tempted to laugh at or make fun of or bully or whatever else you want to unroll with that, be sarcastic towards. That is God's likeness that I am doing that to. They took that literally, and the dignity of humanity transformed the world. Matter of fact, and he'll go so far as to look at today, our ethics in our world today, dignity of humanity is stamped especially in the Western world, stamped, and it has been transformed. That didn't come from Greece. That didn't come from Rome and the other nations that kind of we grew up out of. That came from Jesus and his followers have deeply impacted our world in those first 300 years. So as I've been reflecting on that, I've been asking myself, Adam, how well are you loving your enemies? And as you engage people and interact with them, no matter who they are, when you engage them, there should be a sense of awe in reality. Like every person I engage is created in the image of God. Like that is significant and very impactful. So Final thing I'll share to encourage you, you are creating the image of God. No matter what you may think about yourself, feel about yourself, absorb within yourself, maybe you have some kind of unwanted identity. You feel stupid, you feel dumb, you feel all these things that other people have kind of pushed on you or life has made you think about yourself. I'd say, man, you are a beautiful person created on purpose with a purpose. And God loves you and you are created in his image. In his image. Absolutely powerful, mind-blowing. I heard C.S. Lewis, the author of Chronicles of Narnia, maybe familiar with him, maybe you've seen the movies, died on the same day JFK did. Actually, many people don't know that. It's a little fun trivia fact. C.S. Lewis talks about if we could see humans, if we could really see them for who they are, really grasp it, we would be tempted to bow down and worship. Love always, that thought's always gripped me. That's who you are. But again, we aren't wired to bow down and worship people. We're created in God's image to worship him. But man, let me encourage you. You are loved. You are cherished. You are beautiful. And so are those you engage with. So that's my encouragement to you. With that said, I've got to get going. I'm actually late for another meeting I should be at right now. But I'd much rather be here talking with you. There we go. Here we go. So let's just wrap up with a couple dad jokes and then I will send you on your way. Here we go. First one. A friend. You gotta love my friends, right? You after a while, you hear these dad jokes. You're like, Adam, you need to get some new friends. Like that's. So here we go. A friend of mine said, I quit my job as a scuba diving instructor after my very first lesson. I said, wow, all that work, all that preparation, and you just quit. He said, yeah, deep down, I realized it wasn't for me. Oh, sorry. Okay. Final two. Here we go. This one's a question for you. What type of doctor? I think I've done this one before. So if you watch regularly, you're going to hear this. What type of doctor was Dr. Pepper? Was he an eye doctor? Was he a pediatrician? What kind of doctor was Dr. Pepper? You know what kind of doctor he was? He was a physician. Hey, anyway. You got to say to me, Adam, if you have to explain your jokes, they probably aren't worth telling. Okay, final one. What do you call a zombie who writes music? A zombie who writes music would be a decomposer. I know. A terrible one to end on. Anyway, with that said, love you, appreciate you. Thank you for your engagement here at the factory. Thank you for all that you do in this community. Thank you for leaning into life. Encourage you to continue to chase life to the full. And if there's anything we can do for you in any way, in any capacity, please reach out. We're a phone call away. Stop in, say hi. Would love to engage you. And again, if you're also, say thank you to those of you who don't donate and are a part of the community that makes this work happen. Thank you for standing with us. Thank you for being a part of this. The lives that are being impacted is your work. So thank you. Appreciate you all. Love you. And I will see you. Let me think. I will see you next Thursday. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the sunshine and the warm weather that is here with us